Internal mental processes studied by cognitive psychology include perception, attention, thought, problem solving, memory, language, and learning. This discipline of psychology can be used to study animal behavior and responses in addition to humans. It will also demonstrate an animal's ability to think, understand, and respond to a variety of situations. So, animal training depicts the process of teaching animals specific behavior to specific stimuli or conditions. The experimenters or trainers will decide what kind of conditioning they want to perform, either classical conditioning by Ivan Pavlov, a sort of unconscious or automatic learning through the association of unconscious stimulus and neutral stimulus. This process produces a conditioned response. And then, there's B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning, a learning method in which the consequence of a response influences the probability that it will be repeated. Using operant conditioning, the behavior that is reinforced and rewarded is more likely to be repeated, whereas behavior that is punished is less likely to occur. However, the trainers must first determine which animal they would train to undertake these two conditioning. Now, let's proceed to animal training video compilation presented by BSP21.
Good day, my name is Maria Teresa T. Alcisto from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the chicken named Clever is how to find or select the right color, which is color green. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled The Power of Brain My Little Clever Chicken. The experiment begins with the desired behavior for the little chicken. The trainer will condition its behavior. In order to do that, the trainer will use the B.F. Skinner's method, which is operant conditioning. The trainer will apply positive and negative reinforcement to strengthen the desired behavior, which is to select the right color, which is color green. We have 4 different colors: blue, red, yellow, and green. Green is the right color that the chicken need to pick or select, and green symbolizes as a food. The positive reinforcement will be given a reward or the chicken food after correct response to the trainer's command. And the negative reinforcements will be removing hands person in the cage or stop getting them in the cage that the little chicken does not like. On the other hand, if unwanted behavior exhibit, punishment will be enforced. The positive punishment will be sprinkling of water, and negative punishment will be taking away of food. This will be help to weaken the unwanted behavior. If the reinforcement and punishment are executed, the desired behavior will achieve. Also, the animal will improve the behavior or its intelligence, especially the kind that involves agility, tricks, and it can maintain or improve good health to the animal. If the reinforcement and punishment are done effectively, that desired behavior could possibly be attained. Second, the time span for the training will be 7 days or 1 week. Every day consists of 5 or 20 to 30 minutes, wherein it consisting of 2 sessions.
Good day, I am Rachel Alvarez of BSP21, and this is the observation of unconditioned to conditioned behavior of before, during, and after training period of a cat named Kobe. So without further ado, let us take a look on this animal training entitled as Kobe's Nap. As for the flow of the entire experiment, first, the unconditioned response that the trainer wants to obtain is that the cat will be able to recognize and to follow along on the sound of the snapping finger, whether on a near or farther distance from the subject, and that will be the conditioned response. The experiment will be using a classical conditioning by Ivan Pavlov with the use of a certain stimuli, snap for the neutral and cat food for the unconditioned one. In addition, The entire training will last until 5 days, having 2 sessions per day. In order for the cat to be exposed on the experiment, first, the cat will be gradually exposed on the present stimuli that was being mentioned earlier. And on the beginning of the experiment, the subject elicits an unconditioned response to the cat food, which is to salivate and having no response to the snap. Then during the conditioning period, snap and cat food will be given simultaneously as the process of classical conditioning occurs. It will continue until the desired behavior of the cat that was being mentioned earlier is being attained. Moreover, variable ratio rewards is imposed as the reinforcement that will be given after a varying set of rewards. Lastly, after the conditioning period, conditioned response is being elicited to salivate when the subject hears the snapping fingers on the trainer. That will result on responding and following along on whether on a near or farther distance from the subject. And snap will now be the conditioned stimulus.
Good day, my name is Rael Aquino from BSP21. This observation of conditioned behavior to conditioned behavior before, during, and after the training of my cat, named Leona, is to remember the sound the whistle makes, as well as to follow the sound every time it hears the whistle, and to come and approach the trainer whenever it hears the whistle. So, without further ado, let's take a look this animal training entitled Leona the Cat versus the power of sound. The experiment begins with the trainer calling Leona without food or any stimulus, showing a no response. Before conditioning, the trainer will give Leona food as the unconditioned stimulus to see how it will respond. As the cat sees the food, it will immediately approach and eat it. That reaction is called the unconditioned response. Next, the trainer will now use the neutral stimulus, the whistle, to produce sound to see if Leona will still come even without food. During conditioning, the trainer will associate the unconditioned stimulus with the neutral one. The conditioning will officially start there. The trainer must condition the animal that whenever it hears the whistle, there is food together with it. After conditioning, the whistle that was formerly a neutral stimulus will now become a conditioned stimulus. The training can be considered successful because the trainer has already conditioned the response of Leona, the cat, to come once it hears the whistle. Finally, the time span for the training will go for 7 days.
Good day, my name is Joma Bal Bertolpo from BSP 2-1. The training that will be through the cat named Leona is how to sit, stand up, and play. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled The Performance of Leona. Experiment begins with Leona having any prior knowledge toward to sit, stand up, and play. To attend the desired behavior for Leona, the cat will condition its behavior. In order to do that, I will use the B.F. Skinner's method, which is operant conditioning. I will apply the positive and negative reinforcement to strengthen the desired behavior, which is to sit, stand up, and play. A positive reinforcement will giving a reward, which is cat food, after correct response to the command. and the negative reinforcement will be removing the reward. The behavior exhibit punishment will be enforced. The positive punishment will be not giving reward, and the negative punishment will be take away reward, which is cat food. This will help to weakness the unwanted behavior. If the reinforcement and punishment are done effectively, that desired behavior. The time span for training is 14 days, consists of 2 seasons.
Good day, my name is alertness from BSP 21. This observation of unconditioned behavior to conditioned behavior before, during, and after the training of my cat named Minky is to associate his tail wagging to our neutral stimulus that we will present later on and see if we eventually elicit a response. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled 안녕하세요, Minky입니다. This animal training using the classical conditioning technique, we will be presenting the unconditioned stimulus to my cat Minky, which is telling him ta, and from that he responds by wagging his tail because it is usually how I tell him that he's allowed to go outside. By telling him ta, Minky wagging his tail is our unconditioned response. Ta. 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 We present him with a bell sound, and it clearly does not elicit any response, which means the bell sound is our neutral stimulus in this animal training. Now, during the conditioning, we present to my cat the bell sound while we associate it to the word ta. It is clear that he responds to ta while I pair it with the bell sound. Ta. 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 I continued impairing both stimuli in the morning and the afternoon, both on day 2 and on the day 3. Ta. 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 On the 4th day, this is the part where we see the association of both stimuli, resulting to my cat's tail to wag if I only present him with the bell sound, which now became our conditioned stimulus. Minky became responsive even when he was presented with the bell sound alone, which means the association is successful because we elicited a conditioned response in this animal training.
Good day, I'm Carlo Batini from BS Psychology 2-1. This training will be taught to my pet hamster named Pichu. Pichu will roll the ball from the start starting position to the finish line and then back and forth. So, without further ado, let's watch this training session entitled Pichu Perfect Roll Roll Roll. The experiment will begin by the first day. I will teach Pichu how to roll the ball from the starting position to the finish line. And then, the conditioning that I use in this experiment is Operant conditioning by BSQ. In this experiment, I'll be using positive reinforcement by giving treats to my pet Pichu every time he did the assigned task well twice. And then I'll be using the positive punishment, which is blowing his face every time he did the task wrong. I also use fixed duration interval in giving my punishment and reinforcement to my pet Pichu.
Good day, my name is Maria Christine Icabliete from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the cat named Pumpkin is to give me a shake hands. So without further ado, let's take a look this animal training entitled The Purple Grid. I taught my cat how to shake hands. The experiment begins with the trainer's idea that the cat should perform the trainer's command, which is to give a shake hands. The trainer utilized B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning method, which involves punishment and reinforcement. The trainer will use the positive punishment included the using voice as sound advice to weaken the undesirable behavior of the cat. During the negative punishment, in which the trainers will not giving an attention if the undesirable behavior remains. In terms of reinforcement, positive reinforcement whereof the trainer will give a cat a treats if it performs the appropriate behavior, and negative reinforcement is not applicable in this scenario since the cat do not respond well on this type of reinforcement, in which it will make the cat avoid the trainers entirely. Second, the trainer will utilize a fixed ratio reward in which the cat will receive a reward for every shake hands. Also, the time span for this training is 7 days, wherein every day consists of 2 sessions.
Good day, my name is Hazelane Kale from BSP 21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Toby is how to find things after shuffling. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Where's the Treat? Intellectual Test of Toby the Dog. The experiment begins on finding treats from my hands first. Once he take a good guess on finding the treat inside my closed hand, I will give him the treat and also good praises. If he did not find the treat, I will not give him good praises and treats. Second, the time span for training will be 7 days, wherein it consists of 10 minutes in one session. Go! Good boy!
Good day, my name is Kainala Scorpio and I am from BSP 21. This observation is all about unconditioned behavior to conditioned behavior before, during, and after the training of my cat Timmy. He is expected to have a response to the sound of the bell, which signifies the food. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Meow, I'm Hungry Timmy. The experiment begins with Timmy having no knowledge about the sound of the bell. During the conditioning, I will be associating the sound of the bell to the cat food so that Timmy will recognize that there is food whenever the sound of the bell is present. During this conditioning, there will be 4 days consisting of 2 sessions, and after the conditioning, I will be expecting that Timmy will meow even though there is only the sound of the bell without food.
Good day, my name is Andrea B. Cortez from BSP 21. This observation of unconditioned behavior to conditioned behavior before, during, and after of the training cat named Chichi is to recall the bell noise created by the trainer in order to get a treat, and also to listen and follow to the bell noise created by the trainer as a signal to get a treat. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled The Alertness of Chichi the tabby cat. The experiment will begin on the first day of the week, observing the before conditioning that I will show the cat food first and I will make noise using the bell. During conditioning, I ring the bell and show the cat foods to see what kind of response will Chichi make. Then lastly, after the conditioning, I will use the bell to see what kind of response will Chichi do. The time span for this training will be approximately 1 week. It will start on the first day of the week that will have 2 sessions. One in the morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and another in the afternoon from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Good day, my name is Gianna Joy Cunanan from BSP 21. The training will be taught to the dog named Susie is how she can jump, walk, and spin. So without a further ado, let's take a look to this animal training entitled A Process to Being a Better Companion. The experiment begins with Susie, not having any prior knowledge towards jump, walk, and spin. She is unresponsive to the command. Therefore, I am planning to change by implementing of BF Skinner operant conditioning. With that being said to my paradigm, if Susie were to obey, she would be subjected to positive reinforcement, which proceeds with her receiving a dog food as a reward. If Susie disobeyed, she would be subjected to negative reinforcement and positive punishment. Negative reinforcement involves refusing to give Susie a dog food as a reward, while positive punishment involves putting Susie back on her cage. Second, the time span for training is 5 days, consists of 2 sessions.
Good day, my name is Carly Espios from BSP21. So today, the conditioning type that will be taught to my hamster Hashira is in operant conditioning, wherein it involves the reinforcement and punishment to aim the desired behavior or to learn the tricks taught by the trainer. So without further ado, let's take a look in this animal training entitled Hamster Ghost Training Hashira Matibay. The experiment begins as I let Hashira wander in the training area in a small square-shaped basket and teach Hashira the hamster to spin in clockwise and counterclockwise direction, as well as the passing through the tissue like roll hole and coming over when coupling. So I use fixed ratio as the schedule of reinforcement when you are giving the reward in a fixed amount every time the hamster performs the desired behavior. The positive punishment will be giving the hamster treats, and the negative punishment will be taking away or not giving the reward the hamster treats.
Hashira! Dito. Dito. Uy, ang galing. Galing. Galing naman ng baby. Hashira, come here. Oh. Galing naman. Halika dito. Come here. Come here. Tommy, puta. Hashira. Ay, very good. Very good, kitty.
Good day, my name is Mary Rose B. Esteban from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Zoe is how she stand, spin, and sit. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Possum Dog. The experiment begins with Zoe without any prior knowledge on how to stand, spin, and sit. And that's what I intend to teach her by implementing the BS Spinner's operant conditioning. And our training goes two ways. If Zoe responds to a command, she will be subjected to a positive reinforcement, which results by giving her a food as a reward. And if Zoe is unresponsive, she will be subjected to a negative punishment, which leads to taking away her toy. Second, the time span for our training will be 7 days, where it consists 30 minutes in every 2 sessions per day.
day. My name is Melanie Gure from BSP 21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Chichi is to learn how to sit down and lay down. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled The Ability of the Dog as Speed named Chichi. The experiment begins Chichi not having any knowledge about the tricks that I will be taught, which is to sit down and lay down. To strengthen the behavior of Chichi, I'll use operant conditioning. If Chichi will follow my command, positive reinforcement will be applied wherein giving a rewards the treats. And if Chichi refuses to obey my command, negative punishment will be applied wherein Chichi will put in a cage and won't give the reward. And I also use variable ratio to scheduling reinforcement. The time span of this training will be 2 weeks and 4 days, and every day is consisting of 2 hours. And in the end of this training, Chichi learns all the tricks that I teach him, and Chichi also shows on how to sit down and lay down.
Sit down, very good. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Wow, very good naman to. Sit.
Good day, my name is Julia Marie Hernandez from BSP 21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Dexter is how to lay down. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Tricks and Skills of Dexter, the Chunky Pongshi. Experiment begins with me and Dexter getting ready for the training. As equipment, I will use a harness and a leash to properly execute the training. I will also be using gloves to serve as protection. As positive punishment, the animal will be given a dog treat as a reward, and as negative punishment, the experimenter will face away from him and will not be given a treat. Prior to the lay down trick, the animal should first be knowledgeable with another trick, which is to sit down. And since Dexter is already familiar with sit, I proceeded in teaching him to lay down. What I did is that I made him aware of the treat by putting it near his nose so that he would know I have a reward.
I then proceeded in laying him down manually until he lies down on his own. The time spent for the training will be 8 days, where it consists of 1 session per day.
Good day, my name is Alejandra Infante from BSP21. The training will be taught to the dog named Kichi is how to do a high five. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Give Me a High Paw. The experiment begins with Kichi was not having a prior knowledge to do a high five. She is unresponsive to my command, so that in this training I applied B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning. With that, if Kichi is responding to the given command, positive reinforcement will be subjected. She will receive a food, like meat or bread, as her reward. But if she disobeys the negative reinforcement, will apply. The time span in this animal training, based on my paper, will be 7 days with 1 hour session per day. While doing this training, the positive and negative reinforcement is applied.
Good day, my name is Emily Nasaga from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the cat is learn to place your game and learn to stay or lay down to his assigned place for 15 seconds. So without further ado, let's take a look to this animal training entitled Chase the Performer, learn to place your game and stay or lay down to the assigned place through operant conditioning. The experiment begins with Chase not having any prior knowledge towards the shell game and to the assigned place. To strengthen the behavior of Chase, I'll use operant conditioning. If Chase obey my command, positive reinforcement will be applied, wherein giving a reward such as catnip biscuit or cat food. On the other hand, if Chase is not following my command, negative punishment will be applied, wherein taking away his food such as catnip or cat food. I also applied variable ratio schedule in scheduling the reinforcement. The time span of this training will be 14 days. At the end of the training, the outcome shows that Chase learned all the things that I teach him.
Good day, my name is Israela Moran from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Dixie Labrador is based on the following objectives, which are cognitive, attentive, and psychomotor. First is to remember the following trick that has taught, such as giving her hand or paw like doing prey position. And second is to identify and be attentive to follow the instructions given by the trainer, such as paying attention when the trainer said. And third is to perform the following actions taught by the trainer, such as sit, stay, lie down, and shake hands within the trainer's hand. So without further ado, let's take a look this animal training entitled The Obedient White Labrador, Dixie Labradori. The experiment begins by instructing and familiarize her into 3 commands or behavior that the experimenter would like to achieve, and as we can see, Dixie has no idea about engaging this experiment on how does it happen. And this experiment is using operant conditioning by B.F. Skinner, and for the positive punishment, the trainer will be slightly hushed her, and by doing this punishment will be varies upon her mistakes or extra movements. And for positive reinforcement, the experimenter will give her dog food for her treats using fixed ratio as the schedule of the reinforcement. The time span of this animal training will be in 7 days, consisting of 2 sessions a day.
Good day everyone, I am Gina Nines. I am from the section BS21. The training will be taught to the hamster, named Oslo, is to train to exhibit mastery, which also should show a slow spin. Second is pull up, and lastly, through the training, Oslo should show a trust to the trainer. Oslo should not bite or lessen the behavior of biting, showing that he is trusting his trainer. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Let's Discover the First Step of Oslo. The experiments begin by researching about hamster, the important things to remember when training or keeping the hamster. Then analyze the ethical consideration in animals so that the trainer will be aware of what it should be doing. Preparing is the second thing to do. Things that hamster needed, and shelter. Keeping the hamster alone from about 2 to 3 days to be familiar in new environment is also needed before starting the training. The positive and negative reinforcement used to strengthen Oslo's behavior. Example is playing with Oslo will help to build trust with the trainer. By doing this activity, Oslo will possibly show unnecessary behavior, which is biting. If the said behavior happens, punishment will be held, such as keeping trainer hand closed. This will be the signal to Oslo that this behavior is not appropriate. The experimenter will not only use positive punishments, because through researching, it shows that the hamster should not receive any negative action towards the trainer, because it will only cause them stress. Also will have the rewards such as sunflower and having a toy if the said behavior exhibit. Second, the time span for training will consist of 7 days, which 1 week. Every day consists of 3 sessions with no specific times. Hamster are more likely want to sleep in morning and active at night. The trainer will not appropriate Oslo if he is sleeping.
Good day, my name is Raylene Ginogara from BSP 21. So my chosen subject to this animal training is a dog named Normie. And my chosen tricks that I need to train to her are sit and stay, spin around, and jump over. So without further ado, let's take a look to the training video entitled The Power of Reinforcement and Punishment to Shape a Behavior. Normie, a Shiranian dog, and their operant conditioning. So I will shortly discuss the flow of the experiment. Before undergoing the training, I set the desirable behavior that I want Normie to exhibit, which are to sit and stay, spin around, and jump over. And in able for me to do that, I use a conditioning technique, which is operant conditioning. So the training session duration is 2 weeks, and under that 2 weeks, I used punishment, which are positive punishment like showing the stick to Normie, and the negative punishment is removing the rewards. And punishment is used to weaken the undesirable behavior that I see to Normie. And of course, I use reinforcement to strengthen the desirable behavior that I want Normie to exhibit. So the positive reinforcement is giving her the treats or the rewards, which is a biscuit treat and chicken treats. While the negative reinforcement is putting her on leash and removing it when I see the desirable behavior that I want. And I use variable ratio as a schedule of reinforcement, which is I give a reward to Normie without any fixed responses. And without further ado, let's take a look to our training videos.
Stay. Stay. Good girl. Spin around. Good girl. Jump. Sit. Stay. Jump. Good girl. Sit. Stay. Stay. Roll over. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Roll over. Jump over. Huh? Good over. Sit. Stay. Stay. Jump. Good girl. Jump. Jump. Sit. Stay. Stay. Jump.
Good day, I am Victoria Panganiban from BSP21. This observation of unconditioned behavior to conditioned behavior. Before, during, and after all the training of the cat named Tayo is to do, sit, half touch, and lay down. Also, we will teach him to behave when the food is served. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Pavlov's Pet, the amazing capability of Tayo the cat. The experiment begins with worthy responsiveness of the cat. Therefore, in this training, I will be using the classical conditioning by Ivan Pavlov. In his experimental paradigm, if Tayo follows the command of the trainer, he will receive treats, which is the positive reinforcement. However, if the cat disobeys, the positive punishment and negative reinforcement will occur. The time span of this training is 6 weeks and 3 sessions per day. Sit. 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 Up. Very good. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Very good.
Good day, my name is Rafael Paraiso from BSP 21. The training that will be taught to a dog named Hera is how to sit and fetch. So without a further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Adventures of Hera, a wonderful puppy. The experiment begins where Hera will test if she will respond to a command that will give to her for the first time. She needs to respond for every command, and after every successful response, she will be given a slice of hot dog or a dog food. She needs to learn the experimenter's desired behavior, which is to sit and fetch. Second, the time span for training will be approximately 4 to 5 days, depending on her behavior.
Good day. My name is Angela Picanes from BSP21. The training that will be taught to my dog, named Lucky, is how he will follow my command, which is sit and behave, and the trick, which is a gap trick. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled The Great Lucky 7 Days. To accomplish the desired behavior for Lucky, the great dog, the experimenter, will condition the behavior. In order to fulfill that, the experimenter will use B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning. The experimenter will perform positive and negative reinforcement to strengthen and positive and negative punishment to weaken the unwanted behavior of Lucky. Furthermore, with the use of B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning, the outcome of the experimenter, which is expecting Lucky behavior, including remembering the given command, which is sit and behave, to locate where's the food inside the cups, and to follow the command of the trainer. The positive reinforcement will be giving his favorite food as a reward when the subject's behavior was correct according to the experimenter's command. On the other hand, the negative reinforcement will take away the unpleasant object on his neck, which is the leash. If the unwanted behavior of Lucky shows, the experimenter will perform a punishment. Positive punishment will be taking Lucky back to the cage, restricting the subject, which he doesn't want to experience, and negative punishment will be taking his pet that makes him feel comfortable every day.
Good day! My name is Regenty Ramirez from BSP21 and the training that will be taught to Sky is based on the three following objectives: cognitive, attentive, and psychomotor. First is learning how to shake his paw to the trainer. Second is bringing back the slipper to the trainer. And third is behaving, specifically by avoiding making noise and being naughty inside his cage. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Neurons Can Make Things Possible, featuring the ability of our bright Sky. The experiment begins with familiarizing him into three commands or behaviors that the experimenter would like to establish. And as we can see, Sky has no idea or no prior knowledge on how to do it. The experiment is using operant conditioning by B.F. Skinner. For positive punishment, the trainer will scold and spunk him with slipper, and by imposing this punishment will varies upon numbers of mistakes. And for positive reinforcement, the experimenter will give him treats or biscuits using fixed ratio as a schedule of reinforcement. The time span of this training will be 7 days, wherein it consists of 2 sessions in a day. on, go get it. Go get it. Wow, good job. Good job, Sky. Sky, sit. Give me your paw. Wow, shake your paw. And then the other one. And then the other one. Shake your paw. Very good. I love you, Sky. Okay, one more hand. Okay? Okay? Sky, go get my slipper. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Wow, good job, Sky. Sky, listen to me carefully, okay? You have to get this, Sky. You listen, huh? Sit. Okay. You have to get this and bring it back to me, okay? Sky, go get my slipper. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go, Sky. Go get it. Go get it. Go, Sky. Pass it. Pass it. Pass it. Wow, good job. Okay. Next one. Sit. Okay. Shake your paw. Very good. And then the other one. Nice meeting you. Very good. Okay. One more. Sky, listen, huh? Listen. Listen. You have to get this and bring it back to me. So, what do you think? Where am I going to go? Will it be there or there? Listen now, will it be there or there? So you have to get this and bring it back to me, okay? Go, 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 go. Look at this, pass it, pass it, there, there, go get it, go get it, go get it. Go get it. Wow, good job, very good. Okay, Sky, listen. Sky, sit, sit. Yeah, very good. Very good, Sky. Pag-ibig, ha? Behave lang, behave. Okay, up, Sky. Yeah, very good. Good job. Sit down, sit. Very good. Sky, I leave ha. Dapat ganyan ka lang, Sky. I will leave ha. I leave you. Okay, ganyan lang ha. Ganyan lang. Sit down. Ayaw ko ng malikot.
Good day. My name is Leia Yasin Resuelo from BSP 21. The training that will be taught to the bird named Malaya is how to slide, tunnel, and fetch. So without further ado, let's take a look in this animal training entitled The First Journey of the Brainy Bird Malaya. The experiment begins without any further knowledge of his subject. To achieve the desired behavior for Malaya to exhibit, the trainer will use operant conditioning. There are two aspects to operational conditioning, which is positive and negative reinforcement and positive and negative punishment. The positive reinforcement is giving treats to Malaya. Negative reinforcement is removing leash that Malaya dislikes. In doing this activity, Malaya might show unnecessary behavior like biting. In this situation, punishment might apply, which is tapping the nose or the beak. The trainer will be using positive punishment to lessen the stress to the trainer's subject. As a type of reward, variable ratios are used. Second, the time span for training will be 7 days, wherein consisting of 2 sessions and maximum of 5 minutes.
Good day, my name is Adrian Lerner Anselmon from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Aurora is how she can close our bedroom door. So without further ado, Let's take a look at this animal training entitled Aurora, the inexpensive yet princess-like door closer. The experiment begins with Aurora not having any prior knowledge of closing a door. She's unresponsive to the command, and that's what I'm planning to change by implementing B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning. With that being said, my paradigm goes two ways. If Aurora were to obey, she would be subjected to positive reinforcement, which proceeds with her receiving banana chips as a reward. If Aurora were to disobey, she would be subjected to negative reinforcement and positive punishment. Negative reinforcement involves refusing to give Aurora banana chips as a reward, while positive punishment involves blowing the whistle on Aurora. Second, the time span for my training based on my paper will be 6 days, wherein it consists of 40-minute sessions per day, with the first 3 days implementing a continuous schedule of reward and punishment, while in the remaining days, the intermittent schedule of reward and continuous schedule of punishment shall be implemented. 2, 3, pinto! Aurora, pinto! Pinto!
My name is Kristen Jerry Santos from BSP2. This observation of unconditioned behavior to conditioned behavior before, during, and after of the training of dog named Piper. So without further ado, let's take a look this animal training entitled Conditioning Piper, the dog Piper. The experiment begins in the experiment study about the animal behavior. The experimenter will try to test and train Piper the dog to know how animals understand and act with a certain situation and routine presented to them. The flow of project proposal, which is animal training, will be explained in detail. The experimenter will conduct the training in the time framework of approximately 1 week. There will be 2 sets of sessions, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning and 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. The process of conditioning will start in the first day of the week entitled as before conditioning on the both sessions. The experimenter will present only the threats. Those threats will serve as the unconditioned stimulus that the dog have natural response, and their immediate reflex to the towards the threat serve as the unconditioned response. On the second day, the clicker will then present them to determine if there will be reaction to its sounds. The clicker represents the natural stimulus of something new for the dog. Obviously, it is not familiar to it. He will not any reaction. Is known as no condition. Response on the third day is the during conditioning. The trainer will present both clicker and test due to the fact that the dog is familiar to the unconditioned stimulus. Hopefully, he will also get used to the sound of the neutral stimulus after few training or session. This training process will be repeated for another 2 consecutive days to further train the dog behavior on the 6th and 7th day. This will be the last stage of the conditioning process, as after conditioning, remembering the previous training, by now the dog must be familiar enough to the sound of the clicker. By this chance of the dog have response toward the clicker alone. Then the neutral stimulus can be described now as conditioned stimulus. The new response is described as conditioned response.
Good day, my name is from BSP21 section. The training that will be taught to the dog is to sit and stand tricks. Standard the dog should obey the command how to sit and stand. So without further ado, let's take a look the animal training entitled It Was Lightning Before the Thunder. The experiment begins. The dog doesn't have any knowledge. In order to get his desired behavior, I will employ B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning. To strengthen the desired behavior, positive reinforcement will be giving him a reward, which is treats and cuddles. The negative reinforcement is not giving him an attention. To weaken his desired behavior, positive punishment will be speaking loud towards him if thunder not obeying to the command. I also apply variable ratio and the time span days and 2 sessions per day. First session will be stand and the second session will be sit. At the end of the training, the outcome shows how Thunder the dog learned the things I teach him. Under seat. Stand. Stand. Okay.
Good day. My name is Tanya Raylan B. Santana from BSP 21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Oreo is to memorize the trainer's given command, and that is to catch, get a toy when thrown and bring it back. Sit, stand up, and shake the trainer's hands. So without further ado, let's take a look to this animal training entitled Dog Can Remember, the Outstanding Tricks of Obedient Oreo. The experiment, the trainer will have a specific goal of objectives that is needed to be fulfilled in a specific time span. The desired behavior of Oreo with the help of his owner, the trainer will use a operant conditioning. This conditioning will give consequences to the positive and negative behavior of an animal. Positive reinforcement is the response to the behavior of Oreo that the trainer wants to strengthen, and it will be given a reward like a dog treat. Whereas negative reinforcement is what Oreo is scared of and does not like. To strengthen a desired behavior by removing something that is unpleasant. For instance, the trainer will show the presence of the sleeper. At that point, the trainer will hold Oreo in place until a certain behavior is achieved, and then let him move away and remove the presence of the sleeper. For the positive punishment and negative, positive punishment will be the spraying of water and timeout. To reduce the undesirable behavior of Oreo, after establishing the conditioning, we will now proceed to the schedule of reinforcement as it can affect the results of operant conditioning. For the first 4 days of training session of Oreo, the trainer will use a non-intermittent schedule of reinforcement called continuous reinforcement or CRF. This reinforcement is best used in the acquisition of the desired behavior as the animal has no idea to any tricks that the trainer will introduce. CRF presents reinforcement every performance of desired behavior to quickly introduce the desired behavior. When Oreo has been introduced and shows signs of responding at the steady rate during the proficiency stage of learning, the trainer will stretch the ratio and start moving from a continuous schedule to an intermittent one, where behavior is rewarded randomly on some occasions to maintain behavior and preventing it from becoming instinct. The intermittent schedule will be variable ratio reinforcement. It delivers reinforcement after varying number of responses are made. This schedule produces high and steady response rates. The trainer will increase the responses required for Oreo to earn positive reinforcement to avoid having the desired behavior from disappearing Oreo's behavior repertoire. Second, the time span for Oreo's training will be 10 days, consisting of 2 sessions each day. Thank you.
Good day! My name is Brian D. Taganile from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the dog named Marky is on how to stand. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Stand Up Marky. In this experiment, a dog named Marky is going to be conditioned to exhibit a desired behavior, which is to stand. The trainer will use the well-known operant conditioning by B.F. Skinner, or also called as instrumental conditioning, where the consequences of response determine the probability of it being repeated. Through operant conditioning, behavior which is reinforced will likely be repeated, and behavior which is punished will occur less frequent. In this case, the positive reinforcement to the dog is giving food or treat as a reward and every desired behavior. And also, the negative reinforcement is removing the thing that causes discomfort, which is the stick. In punishment, the positive is to hit it with a stick and every undesired behavior, and also the negative is taking away the food. The time span for the training is 7 days, and the dog is expected to exhibit the desired behavior, which is to stand.
Good day, my name is Erica Joyce Navigator from BSP 2-1. The training that will be taught to the dog named Fimo is how to sit and stay. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled The Journey of the VIP, Very Important Puppy. The experiment begins in simply command her to sit or stay, but at first, she will not respond or she didn't know how to sit or stay. But a simple pat can do so that later on she will know how to sit and stay. If she will do the sit or stay, eventually she will be rewarded by a chip or biscuits. And if she didn't do the sit when it is commanded, she will not get pet, and by slapping the ground by mosquito rod, she will be attentive and removing the chew toy. And if she continues to do the sitting and stay, she will get 2 bites of chips. So, the outcome or desired behavior to the dog to do is B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning. The trainer will apply positive and negative reinforcement and positive and negative punishment. It is the process that strengthens the particular response by adding a stimulus after behavior is performed. Second, the time span for training will be 3 days, wherein consists of 2 sessions.
Good day. My name is Karil Jean E. Villamor from BSP21. The training that will be taught to the rat named Vince is to spin, put his paw on my finger, and jump through a hoop. So without further ado, let's take a look at this animal training entitled Vince's Hoop on Loop. The experiment begins by first determining the behavior of Vince I wish to stimulate. The second stage is to figure out his likes and dislikes. The third step is to connect the consequence to the behavior. Next, I will tame Vince to gain his trust and encourage it to learn new behaviors. Following the taming are the training preparations. I will be using tape, cardboard, biscuits, a venue where the training will take place, and a camera cell phone set up to capture the training session. To accomplish my objectives, I will utilize B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning. I will provide commands with consequences that will either raise or lessen the behavior. Treats will be given to Vince if he obeys my command correctly as the positive reinforcement. And if Vince does not respond correctly to my command, I'll put him into a timeout to reduce unwanted behaviors. Under operant conditioning, I will implement the fixed ratio reinforcement scheme on the first 3 days and the variable ratio reinforcement on the remaining days. The training period will end in 7 days. Each day will consist of 5 10-minute sessions.
Good day, I am Jaisara Koyanson from BSP21. This observation of unconditioned response to conditioned response before, during, and after the conditioning of my hamster named Mimi is to memorize the maze created by the trainer. The food is the guide that is placed in each area of the maze. Also, to listen and follow the noise of the whistle as a signal to start the goal of reaching the end of the maze. And to perform the command of the trainer to memorize the maze and listen and follow the noise of the whistle. So, let's take a look to this animal training entitled, I am Mimi the hamster, let the food be my guide. The experiments start before conditioning. The trainer places food in various areas of the maze and the unconditioned response is cravings and being determined of Mimi the hamster to consume all of the food. Next, the trainer will employ neutral stimulus, which is the whistle, to produce noise. But no food is provided this time. So Mimi the hamster has no conceivable response, no cravings, and is not determined. During training, the trainer will match the neutral stimulus, which is the noise of the whistle, and the unconditioned stimulus, which is the food, such that whenever the trainer makes noise while also placing a food, the unconditioned response of Mimi the hamster will be cravings and being determined. If the noise of the whistle was formerly a neutral stimulus, it will now be a conditioned stimulus after conditioning. Since every time Mimi the hamster hears the noise, it will respond, converting from an unconditioned response to conditioned response.